Hello players, welcome to another video. In this video I will discuss a bit about challenge mode, changes, and the requirements that a lot of new players and returning players are having trouble with. Before we dive right into it, please hit that like and subscribe button. That'll help me push out more content for players like you. So it looks like I've been getting a lot of questions about how the new challenge mode works and how it differs prior to the episode 13 patch. A lot of these changes are impacting newer players and returning players, and I hope this video will clarify some of these changes and hopefully make it easier for players to understand how to do challenge mode. To start off, we need to understand what is challenge mode and how it plays into our daily Tree of Saber gameplay. So challenge mode is actually enabled once you reach level 100. Prior to episode 13 patch, players would run challenge mode in certain areas for collection and gems. Some players still do this. This is what we called field challenge mode. You're out in the maps doing content. This was also the method of endgame content prior to episode 13. Players would go to Path of Decision and they would gather at this bottom area to funnel all the mobs and run challenge mode in parties up to challenge mode 7. Some point at the end of last year, solo mode was included that allowed the use of assisters. Basically, you can summon assisters, and your assisters provide some benefit depending on your build. This was not beneficial, but only great if you really wanted to clear content fast without the need to find a party. I personally did not like this, but I did it only at Outer Wall 15 to farm Practoniums. However, now with the advent of episode 13, we have two versions of challenge mode. The existent field challenge mode, so I'll show you right now. So we'll go back to Path of Decision. Challenge mode requirements is 416 to 460. So if you reach that level 416, you can start challenge mode. And with field challenge mode, there is no equipment restrictions. And this is actually really good if you're a new player and you have a guild that is extremely stacked and willing to carry you. The other challenge mode is actually Automatch. And the way we do Automatch is we go into F10, we have three areas: level 361, level 400, and level 450. We commonly refer to this as area 1, 2, and 3, as noted on the right side here. This is the de facto goal for any player aiming for endgame. So you might be wondering why we're doing auto match instead of field CM. There's a few reasons, but I will note the most important. Number one, the equipment requirements filters out a lot of players looking for a carry. The auto match is actually faster, at most 5 minutes, but usually with a good group you can clear within 2 to 3 minutes. In field farming, prior to episode 13, it would take 10 minutes. Overall, it's fast, good silver, and XP. There are some cons to this, and that is the equipment requirements differ for each area in the Automatch challenge mode. So if you look at 361, the equipment requirement is actually your main weapon needs to be level 350 with 8 transcendence. So you might be wondering, what is transcendence? If you note this number 10, that is the maximum transcendence. The number 16 is enhancement. Enhancement is done through anvil. Transcendence is done through Goddess Blessed Gems. I will provide a link in the description below on how to craft endgame equipment. So with the fact that there's entry requirements, you have to know what are the requirements and try to satisfy that. The number 2 con is if you're a support class and deal 0 damage or less, you get less silver and rewards. If you literally do 0 damage and AFK, you get no rewards. You might argue this is a pro because it stops players from going AFK. So another good benefit of running Automatch challenge mode is the completion requirements for the Kingdom Reconstruction quest. This is actually used to unlock the Goddess cards, which I don't have yet. It is also good to run dailies and weeklies for the Ray Sacred Relic Gem. And this will provide the rewards like Breath of Power, which is required to upgrade your gems and relic. So let's dive right into the gear requirements. So I unequipped all my equipment here. If you look at level 361, area 1, the entry requirement is a unique level item of 350 with 8 transcendence and a unique armor level of 350 with 8 transcendence. Now I am actually over leveled, but if you look at specifically the item level requirements, this is 440. Same thing with the 7.0's Death Knight 440. That is way beyond. I can't enter this at the moment because I am over leveled. So if I try to enter, actually, it's going to say you are higher than the level requirement. Now let's say I want to do challenge mode area 2. So the main weapon requirement is level 400 for legend. Legend as defined by this orange hue behind the items. These are legend class equipments. The purple hue is a rare class item. Now, if I'm using this and I try to enter, it won't let me because I'm not wearing anything. So why don't we put some equipment on? We'll remove the arc for now and note that it requires a Kaze seal. A Kaze seal is actually given to you if you do the episode quest. The episode quest is actually done through the regular storyline. I'm not too sure which one. Shinochi has a great guide on leveling. I will provide a link also to his guide. It's a YouTube video. And he kind of goes over getting your seal towards the end. If you actually look up in the forums, they also go over which of these quests provide the seal. Another thing to note is that when you do Area 3, there's an arc requirement of level 3. Now, notice that the arc can either be the quest arc or crafted arc. You can get the quest arc by doing episode 12 quest. Now, the great thing about that is unfortunately, a lot of players actually threw out that arc, but if you have that arc, to upgrade that is not expensive at all. You just need nuclear powders, you need mystic tome pages, and blessed gems. Basically, when you get to level 3, you can literally enter Area 3. Now, I don't have it to level 3 at the moment because I transferred that progression over using the arc transfer ability. If you sit down, you can transfer. I didn't realize this towards the end. I just got my arc recently. So, that being said, if I try to enter this without an arc, it will not let me. Notice that the type of or the level of the arc does not meet the requirements. It will tell you specifically what is required. If it says something else otherwise, it will point out what you're missing. If it's whether it's an ichor or an accessory that you're missing, you can utilize and look for the requirements through the market or through your guildmates. Another thing to note here, it is focused directly on fixed ichors, and it has to be level 380. We're not looking at random ichors, we're looking at fixed ichors. So what is the difference between fixed and random? If you're looking at this main weapon right now, you notice that there are 7 stats provided. Strength, critical rate, con, accuracy, dex, and an attack against cloth armor targets. This is a random ichor. If you look at the bottom where it says strength 215 all the way down to fluorescent, that is a Vivora, it is a fixed ichor. The same can be said for the 7.0's Death Knight set. Now the 7.0's Death Knight set, you cannot apply a random ichor on this. This is actually attached to the item itself, so you have to roll on it, roll on the item itself. More details will be provided if you look at the endgame crafting video provided in the description below. What is fixed on this item? And that is the Infinity Blessing Dahlia Goddess Armor Piece. That is the fixed ichor that I'm using, and that is a level 400 or 440. I might be wrong here, but 400, 440, you substantially meet that requirement. So if I were to actually put this arc on, I will meet the requirements. Now, I apologize if I didn't mention this earlier, but challenge mode portal scrolls is used when you're field farming or field challenge mode. To get an entry, you use the challenge mode entry vouchers. This is either attained from the Letitia cubes or going to the mercenary badge shop. All right, you purchase these from the entry voucher portion. You get about 30 throughout the week, and you get about 2 per day. That is substantially a lot of silver. If you're doing area 3, you get about, I would say, 40 to 50 mil per week. The same can be said for Division Singularity, weekly and daily. You should be able to reach at least 80 mil per week by just doing all of this endgame content. Now, let's begin. Will it let me in? It should, because I meet the requirements right now. Immediately 5 players. So why don't we gauge how long this takes in a random approach. Keep in mind that you get to choose your own individual buff based on your build. As a DPS class, I usually use split. If you're an archer and you have a lot of AoE, go for the AoE attack ratio. Majority of players will use the Automatch party buff for increased damage. Again, this depends on your party composition. So as you can see here, that took roughly 2 to 3 minutes. It wasn't too bad. And how much silver did I get? About 1 million. Not too bad, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you have any questions. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.